By Richmond. Did not allow him to put it on the floor and get by.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gold School Retro NBA episode 10. And I'm here to pay homage to no other than Oakland, California basketball legend, Isaiah J.R. Rider. If you guys don't know who Isaiah Rider was, he was a phenomenal basketball player from the 90s into 2001. He started off his career in Oakland, California, playing in Almeida for Encinitas High School. He went on to get recruited by UNLV, running Rebels. Was a part of many good teams on the UNLV. Unfortunately, the year that he got into the 7th rank, they were ineligible for some sanctions that they violated with the NCAA. The following season, they lost to New Mexico and didn't qualify in Isaiah Rider's best year, where he won Big West Conference Player of the Year. He went on to be drafted number 5 by the Minnesota Timberwolves in the first round, where the rookie season, he proved why he was a very good basketball player. This dude had uncanny athleticism, could get to the rim, and the closer he got to the rim, there was a very good chance that he was making a shot. He had an uncanny leaping ability, had hops for days. He was the original Mr. Bunnies. He played on some good Minnesota teams, and they were really good. Unfortunately, he was dealt to the Portland Trailblazers, and he played really good. He was actually the 15th top 15 scorer in the NBA. People don't realize that. He was a really good basketball player. Unfortunately, a lot of things happened to Isaiah throughout his career. He had some off-the-court issues, bumped heads with front offices a lot of times, and it kind of took away from the skill that he brought on the court. There was one particular play when I realized Isaiah Rider was really good. It was a game against the Sacramento Kings where they passed him the ball at the wing, and the ball ended up deflecting and almost going out of bounds, where he took the ball, grabbed it from this side, and threw it behind his head. And it actually went in, and the announcer was screaming out his lungs saying, "This is the play of the year, play of the year." And it actually was, because I've seen some crazy plays in the 90s as a kid growing up, but this play was phenomenal, man. I mean, I don't know how he did it, bro. Like, he did something that was just very unseen. Like, to get the ball like that and just throw it over your head and basically bank a shot like that in. It was wonderful, man. That was wonderful. And Isaiah Rider, man, I loved it, especially watching him. I used to watch the slam dunk contest a lot, and he had that dunk that he called the East Bay Funk dunk, and it was phenomenal. That's what catapulted him to actually winning the slam dunk contest. And he went on to have a really good 9-year career, averaging 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists a game, and shot the ball at 35% from the 3-point line. And what I liked about Isaiah, like, if you put him in a lot of one-on-one situations, he did a lot of creating his own shots. And that's one thing I loved about him. When you guarded him one-on-one, you had to bring your A game, because there was a couple of times where he went up against Michael Jordan and he was cooking MJ one-on-one. You know, and I noticed that, and I was like, yo, Isaiah Rider is going to be a really good player. It just sucks that, unfortunately, like, a lot of things happened to him throughout his career that made his career end up being short. There was one instance where a lot of people don't realize he was an NBA champion with the LA Lakers. And the LA Lakers were a really good team, if you guys remember that team in 2001. But unfortunately, he was left off the roster in favor of Tyronn Lue. But people don't realize he was the leading scorer off the bench for that Lakers team. And a lot of that goes over people's heads, and it's like something that I think is to behold, because he actually was a part of that championship team, but doesn't get enough credit for it. Before the tenure with Portland, he had a good run with Portland. He had some good years, those 3 years with Portland. 15th in the NBA scoring, and he got dealt to the Atlanta Hawks. And a lot of people don't remember the Atlanta Hawks had a really good team at that time, and they were trading him for Steve Smith. And Hawk fans were not happy about that, because they thought Steve Smith was an integral part, which I knew he was, because Steve Smith was a phenomenal baller and a 3-point shooter. And he meant a lot to the Atlanta Hawks organization. A lot of people didn't like that. And he ended up having some situations in there with the Hawks. While he was producing on that team, he had a lot of issues with the Hawks. in general. And they ended up dealing him to letting him go. He went to the Lakers, and that's where he was the pivotal bench piece on that Lakers title team, and ended up getting his first ring. Tried out a stint in Denver. It didn't work out, unfortunately, and eventually he was cut, and then his career was cut short. I think JR, if he would have had his head on straight, I think he would have had a longer, more productive NBA career, because I think his game was really good. I mean, he was good with the close shots at the rim. He had uncanny athleticism, could get out on the break. He was a very respectable 3-point shooter. And I think if the off-court issues didn't get him, I think he would have had a really good, productive, long career. I think he would have been a part of some more title teams, because that's a guy that you can have on that bench that could be a lightning rod 6-man that could get you instant offense and energy. And I think he brought that to the game. And I really love this game. I was a really avid card collector for Isaiah Rider. And I used to always look at the stats and watch any highlights I would have while I record on the video cassettes when we had at the time to record. But I just wanted to pay homage to this man because he does a lot of good things, especially now. He cleaned up his image off the court. He has a Sky Rider Foundation where he donates to lower income families, because he feels like that a lot of parents nowadays don't have money to put their kids in these activities after school and to pursue their dreams. And he helps them achieve those dreams. And I think that's pretty phenomenal that he does that, because he's giving back in a lot of different ways. And I think he's cleaned up his image a lot. And shout out to Isaiah Rider, man. J.R. Rider was that guy, and I really enjoy his game. That's why I wanted to bring him forward to you guys in this episode of Gold School Retro NBA. And he also has a documentary. If you guys haven't checked it out, it's called My Testimony, where he talks about his whole life and career to where he's at now. And it made me look at J.R. Rider in a lot of ways a lot of people didn't look at him, because I never really thought he was a bad person, even though he did have a lot of off the court issues that hampered his career and made it shorter. But he's pretty much cleaned up his image now, and he's giving back to the community. And from my heart, I really appreciate players that do stuff like that they give back to the community and do for people that are don't have the money to put their children in certain programs to help them better themselves or pursue their dreams. And I gotta tip my hat to J.R. Rider for that. So this is gonna conclude episode 10 of Gold School Retro NBA. J.R. Rider, thank you for tuning in. And I appreciate all you ladies and gentlemen, the younger generation that's been hitting me up. I'm happy that I'm teaching the game with a lot of these players from the past, and I'm loving it. And thank you all for all my supporters. I appreciate you guys. This will conclude episode of J.R. Rider, Gold School Retro, episode 10. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you guys. One love.